everybody, welcome back to my channel. I hope today you're having a great day. And today I have a super fun project we're going to be doing. We're going to be using the Trace Jolie July card kit to create this wonderful blank envelope album. This is by 3/4 Designs, and the paper is called Shutter Glam, and that is also by 3/4 Designs. It is an 8x8 paper pack, and with that, we get all of the little elements to go ahead and design it and, decorate it. So I'm really excited to get this started. So let's go ahead and get to it. Okay, when you get your kit, you're going to find a bunch of different pieces in here. And these are the corner pieces. Now you can add these to your inside of your little album. And then these are just extra pages. So these are pages that you can do layouts on and then place them inside of your envelope album. And then these are pieces that are going to be attached. So this is the bottom flap. It is a larger flap than the top. And so you're just going to go ahead and glue these on. Now you're going to glue on the top flap, the side flaps, and you're going to go ahead and glue on the bottom flap, the top, bottom, and the sides. And they're pretty easy to put together. I mean, it's really super easy. And instructions come with the little album. So if you need a reference or anything, you could definitely go ahead and look at those. Now, I went ahead and I burnished down all of the score lines that are on your little pieces here. So all your flaps have double score lines, and I think it leaves about a 3/4 inch gusset. So it may be a little bit smaller than that. I don't know. I didn't really measure it. So, and then you can cut off any of, like, if you like yours more tapered, you can definitely taper the ends of that like I did. And same thing with the top. So that is going to be the top of the envelope album. And then you're going to have the bottom. Now, typically this folds up as so, like I'm doing here, but you can go ahead and fold this any way you would like. It doesn't matter. And you'll see with mine, as you saw in the picture at the beginning, that we went ahead and did double doors on ours. So let's go ahead and get started with the rest of the project. Now for this project, I did use magnets. You don't have to if you don't want to. You can actually use a ribbon as a closure, or you can use any trim to just wrap around your little album in order to, form a closure. You can also use Velcro if you want to do that. And so I went ahead and placed my magnets down, and then once I got all of my magnets on, and this is how I do my magnets, and then I go ahead, close the doors, and then go ahead and just rub those up on top of the little doors, and they should stick. So we're going to go ahead and place magnets on the bottom part now, right? And then we're going to go ahead and place bottoms on the bottom flap. So you'll have 4 sets of magnets, okay? And so 2 on the bottom and then 2 up on top. So that's how we'll be putting on our magnets. And I do like to use magnets because they help the album close a little bit tighter. And so I have a link down below where I get my magnets from, and you can definitely go ahead and order some of those. It is no extra cost to you to order the same ones I get. Next, we're going to go ahead and I papered the front using cream colored cardstock. You can use pink, white, or whatever you would like. Also, black would look really nice. I think that would give it a really dramatic look against the pink, and I think that would be really pretty. So here I took some strips that were just pieces from that I just cut off for the doors. And I just am gluing those on the sides, and then you can definitely just snip those off. So you can go ahead and just snip those off, just like so. And you can do the other side just like that. Again, just putting glue down on that little gusset, on the outside gusset where the double doors are going to open, and then you're going to go ahead and lay that down. And again, these are just little strips that I have. And then you can go ahead and you can start laying down your mats on top of your album. So you can go ahead and cover the inside and the outside. Now I did a double mat. So I did the cream colored cardstock, and then I did the pattern paper up on top. And I didn't really give you guys any measurements. I figure you all can measure it out yourself. Everybody can measure how they want it, whether you want a larger border or a smaller border, or if you want it flush against your album. It's totally up to you, however you would like to decorate your album. Okay, so now I just grabbed some ephemera pieces that I've cut out, and then pieces that were in the packet. And I went ahead and measured out this film strip one, and then we're going to lay it across the left hand flap on top of the album. And we're just going to go ahead and cut that down. And it's going to lay right diagonally across. And then you're going to go ahead and just add the rest of your ephemera, whatever you would like, whether it's flowers, the clocks, the little photo wheels, flowers, butterflies, anything you want. And so here, I'm just going to go ahead and play some music for you while I decorate the top of this little album. Okay, I hope you guys liked that little ditty. I like that little music, and I think it's so fun. So I did some layering here that you see on top of each of the panels, and then I even cut some of the ephemera apart. Now I'm just adding some stickles around the page. So now if you want to, you can decorate the top flap, which is, the one that's right on top. You can decorate the top of that and the inside or the other side of that flap. And then you can go ahead and you can place some papers on the back, and you can place papers on the inside of your flaps, the two that fold inward, the right and the left one. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to paper the bottom top flap. So here we're going to go ahead and I'm just going to put some paper on there. I just love this paper. It is so pretty. And y'all, if you've never used 3/4 design paper, it is absolutely so sturdy and thick. It's nice. It's lovely. So next we're going to go ahead and do some waterfalls. Okay, so to create our waterfall, you get 1 inch strips and you'll score them a 1/2 inch, which is down the middle. Go ahead and fold them, and then we're going to attach these to the side of each tag. Okay, and this is what's going to create our waterfall. So here I'm placing some glue. Make sure the fold is against the edge of your little tag, and then you're going to go ahead and snip off the excess, and that's going to create your little hinge. So you're going to do this for all of the little tags that you have in your kit. So for this next part, after you finish all of your little tags, we're going to grab this paper that has the circle frame on it, or you can grab any one if you want. But the reason why we're grabbing this particular one is because it has little lines, it has the little lines through it in the front. And we're going to go ahead and grab your 1/4 inch tape and place this all the way around your square. Okay, and this is only going to be on the edge of that square. So you're going to go ahead and place all of your tape on the edge there, just like I'm doing. And I know I ripped off one of the backing, but I need to put that back on because we have to cut this. So you'll need to have all of your backing on the back of this. We're going to flip this over, and then you're going to need your X-Acto knife, and we are going to see the little lines there. We're going to go ahead and create a couple of belly bands on here. So you're going to go all the way down, and there's that one, and you're just going to go ahead and cut all of these out. Okay, and see how you have a belly band automatically. Isn't that cool? So this is another technique I love doing. Not only do I do this, but it also forms a pocket. So if you wanted to, you could use the bottom piece as a pocket. And you could use the side piece as a pocket if you wanted to as well. But I went ahead and I'm going to glue the larger side down. So the largest side that we had on that back, you're going to go ahead and glue that. Now I do put glue all the way around because if you put it on, you have a little bit of leeway from your glue and your tape to kind of maneuver that into place, so that way it's not just stuck down and then you have to tear it off. So that is that. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to start our waterfall. You're going to get like a strip of your paper, your pattern paper, and it can be 1 inch, it can be 1.5 inches, it could be 2 inches, however big you want your arm to be. You're going to fold a 1/2 inch on the bottom. That's what I'm trying to say. And you're going to put that little 1/2 inch underneath your pattern paper. Okay, and then I went ahead and stuck a magnet on here. So you're going to grab your magnets. Now, if you want, you can use Velcro if you want to. That is totally up to you. You don't have to use magnets. I love using magnets. To me, I just like it. And but you can use Velcro as well. So now I'm sticking down the magnet, and now I'm going to stick down my tag. Where your flap is, that 1/2 inch flap, that's where you're going to put your glue, as you saw here. And then you're just going to butt up the rest of your little tags right up against that. To make sure they're even, make sure that you just lay it down, and then make sure the bottoms are evened up, so that way it lays, straight on the bottom. You could even use a ruler if you wanted to and lay that down at the bottom to make sure that everything is lining up straight. So it's totally up to you how you want to do that. Again, there's just a couple of hints. Like I said, use a ruler, or you can, you just do it by hand like I do here, and you can just butt each one up. Make sure that you lay one over the top of the other so they line up straight. And now you have your arm for your closure. And then I burnish all of them down to make sure that they're all going to lay correctly. And there we go. And now you can decorate this however you would like. Now we're into the decorating part. Now for this princess, was it Precious Memories chipboard piece, I went ahead and I heat embossed this. So I went ahead and grabbed some of my gold ink, pressed it down, and then went ahead and grabbed some clear embossing powder and embossed it, and then just glued the back and placed it down. And I placed mine down on the inside. You can place yours down wherever you would like. I thought having a title on the inside would be really nice. So that's where I put it. And then here for your little pieces, okay, you're going to go ahead, get your ruler, and just kind of go back and forth over your little areas there. So you can have a pocket there if you wanted to do that. And you're just going to go ahead and stretch out that paper. So that way your little photo mats will fit inside of there. Okay. So, and then here I'm placing some ephemera down just to add a really nice aesthetic look to the inside. And here I used the other half of that little photo wheel and stuck a tag in there. And then I was going to stick tags in there, but then I decided that I wanted to go ahead and use those elsewhere. So you'll see here in just a bit. I did cut out some photo mats, and the photo mats are around I think 3 by 4 or something, or maybe 3 by 5. So you could just cut out your own mats, however size you want them. And then I went ahead and stuck some of the rest of the flowers down below, and then went ahead and stuck a photo mat underneath those flowers. So I grabbed a small photo mat and just stuck that right under there. And I can't remember what size it is. I think it's like 3.5 by 3.5. And then just stick that right there. And that's it. And like I said, you can paper those if you want to. You don't have to. I didn't paper mine, but you can definitely paper yours however you would like. Now we're going to grab this large corner piece. Now this comes in the kit, and we're going to cut this down. And I just kind of eyeballed mine. I just didn't want it very big. So it's just a little tiny piece. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cover that front with some scrap paper. So whatever scrap paper you have, you can definitely go ahead, and we're just going to place some glue on top, and then place your paper up on top of there. Make sure it's burnished down really good, and then just cut around it. And then you're going to have a little tuck spot. So there we go. Super easy peasy, you guys. And that is just going to go right down there in the corner. And we're just going to add some glue to the 1/2 inch flaps, lay it down, and that's where I'm going to stick the remaining tags. And that is it, you guys. We're done. Okay, so we finished our little envelope blank album, and this is from 3/4 Design. You'll find this in the card kit from Trace Jolie this month, and I think that this is so stinking cute. There's several ways that you can make or create this album into different ways, and so I want to share with you what I did. Is I originally it is supposed to go like this. Okay, this is how it's supposed to sit. Okay, I went ahead and decided to create it with doors. Okay, and I just think that it is so cute. It turned out really nice, and I love it. And then we open it like this. And I went ahead and placed a little tuck spot from the ephemera right here. And this is just a little tag just like that. And then here you can stick a picture up here or whatever you would like. Here we went ahead and cut down the large little corner piece to a smaller corner piece. And this is where I stuck all of the little tags that come inside of the collection. And so those are all going to sit right in through here. Then on this side, I went ahead and I had cut out in the front, let's see here, I cut out half of this little wheel, right? The little photo wheel. And I went ahead and stuck the other half here, and then a little flower, made a little photo mat, and then went ahead and stuck one of the tags here. And then here, this flap opens. I went ahead and placed the Precious Memories here. Now I did gold emboss this piece, okay? And then here, this flaps down. We went ahead and created a nice little belly band and some other little tuck spots in through here so you can put some photos in there. And you can create your photo mats with the pieces that you got inside of your kit, or you can go ahead and paper them and make a little album out of them. If you want to do that, you can do that as well. Here on the bottom, I went ahead and used the little tags that come in the kit to create a waterfall. And we created a little arm that opens up, and then each piece is a little waterfall. Okay, isn't that cute? And then on the back, I went ahead and used some of the ephemera to create a finished look on the side, along with a little photo mat. And that just closes up like that. I did use some of the little pearl decorations that come in the kit to decorate the little arm. So, and then here I went ahead and used some of the flower ephemera pieces to finish just decorating this little frame right here. And I just think that this turned out super, super cute. I just love it. And so simple and easy to do. Now, again, you can close this up however you want. You can even close it up like this, okay? And it's perfectly fine. I think you could do that with the two doors in the front. And then you can place this piece on the front of here, or, you know, you can place it like I did. I just think it's super cute reading the little title up here while you look through your little photos. So you can do this however you would like. And I will have the link down below for you. Thank you all so much for joining me today, and take care, and I will be talking to you soon. Bye. Thanks for joining me today, y'all. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial, and head on over to Trace Jolie to check out their shop. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and comment, and join me Friday nights at 4:30 Central Time.